Hi there, I'm Professor Blackmore, and I want to welcome you to ProfessorBlackmore.com, where our goal is to empower results through real productivity. And before I go any further, I want to ask that if you haven't been here before, that you will subscribe to my YouTube channel and please click the bell so you won't miss any of my tips. And please also follow me on TikTok and Instagram. Now, today, I'm coming back to you with something that was really requested. I'm not going to say by who. You know who you are. Anyway, it was requested, and after the person asked me about it, I'm thinking to myself, okay, yeah, why not do a class on this? It occurs to me that, people would want to know how to do this. And it just didn't occur to me that people wouldn't automatically be doing this. But during this time of remote work, some of us need a way to have our customers to be able to pay us our money in a remote, secure manner. And I'm a strong proponent of PayPal. I've been using PayPal for, I can't even tell you how many years I've been using PayPal. And PayPal, and actually when I think about it, all of my payments, any kind of payment from any of my passive income or any of some of the income that it's not passive, I run it through, or it comes to me and is generated through one or more of my PayPal accounts. And it allows me to send an invoice to somebody, and they can, if they have a PayPal account, they can just pay it straight from their PayPal balance, or they can pay by credit card or by debit card. And so that's what makes this so useful. And so today I'm going to show you how to make a PayPal invoice and presumably why you should do so. All right, so I'm going to start off here. Now. Now, this person, who shall remain nameless in my family, always uses his cell phone to do everything. I try to tell him, hey, there's some things you need to go to your desktop computer to do, for your business, but he uses his cell phone. So I am going to record this on my cell phone like app here, because right now I'm using both of my cell phones. One of them to do the recording of this video, and the other one I'm using for another reason right now as we speak. So I'm going to use my pad here. And so all you have to do is go over to paypal.com. Now, I'm going to also do it on my desktop here. So when you go over to paypal.com, okay, and so then you put in your username and password, and then you go ahead and you sign in. Now I'm going to use one of my accounts that I don't really use that much. And so when you get to the home page right here, you're going to see some quick links. You may not have this in your quick links. See, here's in my quick links, so I can just click invoicing right here. But if you don't have it in your quick links, you can go up to pay and get paid, okay? And then you can just click here on pay and get paid. Okay, when you click on pay and get paid, you're going to see invoicing. And then you want to click create invoice, okay? And then it'll bring you here to your invoices page right here. And see, I have it right here on my desktop version as well. All right, now when you go over to this little button here, you can do a whole lot of different things. You can create recurring series of invoices. You can send out an estimate to your customer. And so you can send out batches of invoices, based on work that you've done to several different customers. But right now, I just want to create just a regular invoice here. I'm going to do it on both of these devices so that you can see that you're doing it just the same way on your mobile device. Now, I'm not using an app here. I went straight to Google, and then I went from Google to paypal.com, and I entered that way. So that is what I am using right here. And so, okay. And so when you click on that create invoice, you're going to be brought to this page right here. Now, one of the things that you can do is you can put a logo on your invoice, okay? Okay, so now I've located the logo, my ProfessorBlackmore.com logo that I want to use for this invoice. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that logo in. Now, also, whenever you create an invoice, you're going to get a new invoice number here. And so if you want to give this a special number that you want to identify this invoice as, I can change this number right here. And then I'm going to also edit the business information so that it will match as well. So I'm going to put Professor Blackmore.com here. And then you can put in your address and all of that if you want to. Just some items that would be specific to your business. Tax ID, if you need to put that. Sometimes people need a tax ID so that they can pay you. So you'll want to go ahead and put your tax ID in there. And so I'm going to go ahead and save this information. Do the same thing here. So I'm going to edit my business here. And then I can put my website in there if I want to. And then tax ID. I don't need that. And if there's any additional information that you want to put in, you can put that in there. And so now this looks good. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now, I want to change my invoice number here. I'm going to leave it as invoice number 8 over here, but I can't make it invoice number 8 here because then I'll have two invoices with the same number. So I'm going to name this PBDC, ProfessorBlackmore.com 0009. Okay, today is the invoice day. I mean, you really don't have to do all of these things. I have done invoices before, just a quick invoice. Sometimes, I may need to pay myself. So I'll just go in and do a quick invoice. I'll put the bill to. All I need is the bill to email address here. And so here I'm going to put all right. And so I can just put this email address here and the price and click send actually. And that's all you need for an invoice. But I'm going to put in here OneNote course because everybody knows how much I love teaching about OneNote, which is second to my classes on contract writing. But I'll talk to you about that a little bit later. And so here my price, I'm going to set it as a low price because I'm going to pay this invoice. Okay, so $1, no tax. If there's any tax that needs to be assessed, then you can put it in there. Educational services here. And if there are other things that you're putting on this same invoice for that person, then you can add another row here. And I add those items as well. Then you can put a message to your customer. Thank you for your business. All right, so now I have everything I need here on this invoice. I have an invoice number, I have my logo, business information, due on receipt. Now there are some things that you can also do. You can allow at shipping here, you can allow people to pay, to make partial payments. And you can click this if you want to allow tips, okay? So there are a lot of functionalities that you can do with this. But now here I'm gonna send this one somewhere else. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna send it to another customer. And see, I have email addresses already in there, so I can go ahead and just pop one of the email addresses I already have in there, and then I can just pop in the price. Let's say, oops, I'm just gonna do $1 on this one as well. Pop in the price, and then I could put in item name. I'm just gonna say test. Okay, and then the description will be test. All right. $1. Okay, so we have everything we need on this invoice as well. So I'm going to send this one. Oh, wait. Okay, so that added an extra row that I didn't want. So I'm going to just get rid of this top row because this one has the item name and the description. So I'm just going to get rid of that one. Now I have my total here, $1 due on receipt. I'll put a test note in there. Now I could come back to this, save it as a draft, and come back to it later. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what it looks like on the other side once that customer receives the invoice in their email box. And then now here I can view and pay the invoice. Now every step of the way, as the person sending out the invoice, you're going to be receiving notifications from PayPal. Here I receive an invoice that says we sent your invoice, and so it shows me that the invoice has been sent. Now I want to view and pay the invoice. So now if I want to pay this invoice, all I have to do is click pay. And then it's going to take me over to this section here. And so now the customer can pay this using their PayPal balance, or they can pay this with a credit card by clicking this button right here. And then they can fill out all of their credit card information here and pay the invoice. And then once you pay that invoice, it'll show as a receipt to the customer here that the payment was successful. Okay, so then this will also generate an email to the person sending out the invoice. So now this person can then download this as a PDF and save this as their payment record. Now I will get an email as the seller or as the person who sent out the invoice. It'll say the person paid my invoice, and I'll get this notification. As the person who actually paid the invoice, I will receive an email as well. So I don't have to lift a finger as the vendor or the person who's sending out the invoice. All of this work is done in the background for me, and I can use my time doing other things. Now, if you enjoyed these tips, I ask that you please give me a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell so you won't miss any of my tips. And please also follow me on TikTok and Instagram.